Hello everyone, this is Micah Murphy here. I have a quick little update. Uh, Yesterday, we're down here in Louisiana and we're experiencing ice, snow. A lot of the schools are shut down. Texas is, and I'm sure y'all seen on the news, people are literally dying because the electricity companies are keeping it shut off and different things. It's very unusual. We don't get snow. The last time it snowed was 3 years ago, and then before that it was like 10 or 20 years or something like that. I'm exaggerating, but it's been a while. And so we basically, prepared, got our food and everything for 3 or 4 days to, and thankfully our electricity didn't go out. Thank God, I'm so thankful. And we've got I think one more day of some pretty cold weather, but things are getting better here, at least where I'm at in Louisiana, in southern Louisiana. But I know Hank Kuhnman came out with a prophecy about snow, dealing with kings in the snow, and some of y'all may follow him may have heard of that. But the Lord showed me instantly because me and the ministry here, the people, the New Structure Ministries, the staff, we I sent out a thing to them, and I told them that the Lord had shown me, watch what you're right now. You're in a season of rest, so don't look down and see if you feel the need to sleep a little bit extra right now, as we're kind of shut in with this ice, and you might even be feeling it where you're at. But this is also a teaching that even if you're not shut in, it's good to hear. And sleep is a part of life. And some people say that, they call, if you sleep over 8 hours a night, they call it laziness or this and that. But God actually causes a deep sleep to fall on people at times to do stuff. There's been times I didn't know why, but I just was so tired, and I didn't do anything. I couldn't explain it. I was just tired. I had to go to sleep, and I would have dreams, and different things would happen inside of me. So God works in our souls as we're sleeping, and He gives us messages. He gives a lot. He gives big time messages. I mean, think about the story of Joseph. Him interpreting the dreams is what exalted him to the second highest position in Egypt, which saved numerous nations, including the nation of Israel at the time. Daniel interpreting the dreams. Dream interpretation is a very powerful gift. It's always linked with destiny and future, and which is always linked with how bringing salvation in some sort of way to yourself, to someone else, to your family, to the people you're linked with. So, dream interpretation is a gift that's been around since before Christ even came, and it's a very powerful gift. It normally has I call it having a redemptive element in the gift, meaning it's always linked with your destiny, which propels you into the future, and in somewhere linked with all of our destinies is the salvation of the people around us and ourselves. So we need to know what God's speaking to us through dreams. In the Old Testament, God spoke to the people through prophets, through dreams, and through oracles. And the oracle was when they wore the breastplate, and the priest looked at the, in the temple at the ark and stuff, and someone stood and they asked one question in their heart, and what it was, they called it an oracle. And the priest would stand before the temple, and all of a sudden the stones for the 12 tribes and their names were in the breastplate, the ephod. And all of a sudden God would give the answer to the person by the stones would begin supernaturally lighting up, and the priests would they would they would put they would see what it said, God said, and they would turn around and give them the answer. So that's how God spoke to people, through dreams, through prophets, and through the oracle, the ephod. Remember when David was going down, and he said, I don't know if I'm supposed to pursue or not, and he said, bring me the ephod. Well, in the ephod, God could light up what his answer was. It was supernatural light would project from the breastplate, using because in the Hebrew letters of all the 12 tribes contained every letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And then he also had the Urim and the Thummim, which was basically like a yes or a no answer from God. But anyway, And now, we have numerous gifts after Christ came. Prophets still, God still speaks through dreams. God speaks by His Spirit, numerous things. But dreams, a lot of people just write off dreams as just being like dreams. But dreams are usually there are times when the enemy can come in and try to destroy your sleep patterns. But a lot of times dreams are from God and they need to be interpreted. So I interpret dreams a lot. And I sent out a message to the people here and I said, during this time that we're shut in, if you feel the need to sleep, which I did, and I also had other people in the ministry confirming that, then you need to, whatever you're dreaming, you need to send it to me because I need to interpret it, because it needs to be interpreted by the Holy Spirit and not just your natural mind. I don't even believe in buying a dream book, and I mean, I'm not saying God can't use that, but I believe it needs to be interpreted like Joseph or Daniel. They interpreted it by gift, by a gift of God, not reading a book. And so I just interpreted for one person in our ministry 3 dreams she had last night, and I had an interpretation that I want to share with y'all of a dream I had. And during this freezing cold weather, I was putting stuff around the pipes outside a few days ago, and I found a lizard, and he couldn't barely move. He was almost frozen. And I just have this soft spot in my heart for animals, and so I brought the lizard in, put him in a little hot water, and got him, and he's alive now. He's green again, and he's moving around, and so I'm waiting to put him back outside when the cold weather goes away. But I had a dream last night, and in the dream, where I found the lizard was like he was trying to get up in this like bundle of like cloth we had in our back patio that was like freezing solid, and that's where I found him. And in the dream, I removed that cloth and a bunch of lizards came falling out, but they were frozen up in there during the freeze. But when the freeze was over and I moved it, they all just were alive again, and they started going away. And so I actually forgot what the dream was, so I had to ask the Lord, remind me what I dreamed, Lord. He reminded me of what I dreamed and then gave me the interpretation. And he said that right now during this snowy, icy time, there's things that are frozen up in there that when this lifts, it's going to be exposed. They're all going to, to where we can see them. Because I couldn't see the lizards. They were all under in this blanket, like that type thing we have outside in the back here. And when I lifted it up, they all were alive again after the freeze, and they just scattered. And so the Lord said, things are going to start being exposed when this freeze lifts off of the nation. So that was the interpretation. But I told the people, your dreams are always linked with destiny, your future. And that is always linked with some sort of salvation, whether it's salvation, saving, deliverance from just anything, personal deliverance you need, deliverance for your family, their people, your cluster of the people of God around you. It's just different things. So if you're having dream interpretations, I also, during this small period of time, few days right now, you can send them to me. Now, having to go through and interpret each one takes some time, so, it is right to give back to the people who are ministering to you spiritually. You can do that on the sonsofgod.net, y'all know, and I thank you everyone who is giving, but I will interpret them no matter what. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm charging you, but any gift would be appreciated. So I just wanted to share that, my dream and what the Lord showed me, but that you may be receiving dreams now, and they need to be interpreted because God's talking directly to you in your sleep. And don't think if you're extra feeling lazy or that you need sleep that's a bad thing. God's putting a deep sleep on you for a reason, okay? And sleeping is part of our life. And the Bible even says in, I think it's Malachi, that he stands over you as you sleep as a refiner's fire. And a lot of times he'll be doing things in your soul and healing your soul while you're sleeping. Joseph had a dream about going to Egypt. So that dream saved him and Jesus and Mary from Herod's wrath. So without the dream, Jesus may have died. Herod may have killed him. And of course, some of y'all say, well, God would have done it another way, but he did it through a dream. And so I'm trying to get just y'all, the importance of dreams are very important, and they need to be interpreted by somebody who has that gift. So y'all all know how to get in touch with me if you feel the need that you need some dreams interpreted. But yeah, you need it because God's telling you about your destiny, and maybe even the destiny of other people, and it's a very powerful gift to interpret a dream. But it's God speaking directly to you, and so it's just needed. So anyway, the Lord said that after the freeze lifts, there will be an exposing. There's a lot of stuff God's doing right now. So I know Hank Kuhnman's prophecy was during one time in the Bible during it snowed and God was dealing with unrighteous kings during the snow. I didn't, if y'all have seen that one, but and I also have another favor to ask all the faithful listeners. I know that there's a handful of y'all at least that comment and are faithful and connect with me. If you enjoy the videos while you're doing it, go ahead and press like while you're watching them, and make sure you're subscribed, and even make a little comment if you can, because the YouTube algorithm will actually push our channel out further the more likes and comments, and the longer, if you watch the whole video as opposed to half the video, it shows YouTube that the video is of value, so they push it out. We want the Lord to be able to use us to minister to as many people as possible. So if you can press the like button, if you enjoy what you're hearing, and maybe even just one little comment, I'd appreciate that. That's also a seed, actually, the Lord showed me you can plant to help push us out further. But so that's it, basically. I know it was kind of a lot of stuff here and there, a little teaching on sleep and dreams and the dream interpretation and everything. But be sure to go to thesonsofgod.net, connect with us any way you can. The Lord's really been saying, because he's been healing people, but they got to be here. They got to see it. They got to be here to receive from it. He's been saying there's people on your mind. You need to say, hey, why don't you try watching these videos or this and that? And you need to act on that, because like somebody of the staff here was like, oh man, I know 2 people that have diabetes, if they would have been watching that. Well, if you have maybe some type of fear of man, or just you're intimidated by doing that, just maybe this is your chance to get over it, or whatever. So, but, I can't, I'm not trying to make anyone do anything. I just relay the messages God gives me, but he does want us to be putting this out to people, that could pop in our head who may be needing healing and stuff like that. So that's all. So I will see y'all soon. Thank you so much.